homesteaders. I hope this finds everyone doing well today. Today is a beautiful day. We've got about 60 degrees here in western North Carolina, so we are going to get to cleaning out our greenhouses and maybe even plant some today. It'll be mostly just brassicas, cold weather stuff like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. The last 2 years on our brassicas, we seem to have been a little bit late, so as soon as they get to where they're big enough to produce, here comes the heat and they bolt. This year we're going to avoid that. So the greenhouse is in a little bit of a tizzy right now, but we're just going to start. I don't remember if I had mentioned this before, but these are some kale that Frankie got me in the fall, and they've made it through the winter. Look at how pretty these things are. They're pretty tasty too. We planted some lettuce and stuff in here, but the chickens have kind of done a number on it. Now we have all these empty pots. So today our focus is going to be kind of rehydrating the soil where we haven't watered it or done anything with it. And getting these planters cleaned out. I still got to get that one. I emptied out all the trays the other day. Yeah, see, there was a chicken in here. So I got to clean out this bed. I've already got this one cleaned out, but we're just adding water to the soil. I got to empty this tray out and get the trays ready to go.
Hey everybody, throwing some grass seed out. I try to keep my chickens on fresh grass. It's time to reseed it. It's getting a little muddy out here. I've been cleaning the planters out, pulling the weeds, trying to freshen it up a little bit. And this is Kentucky 51, fescue, and all kinds of grass. See, was probably in my chicken coop. There's a hole in it. So I gotta patch that up next. Just gonna throw some water over it. Call it good. Nikki's gonna be planting in the greenhouse. We're getting ready to plant anyway.
So I'm gonna take you back here. Frankie has cleaned out this bed. And we've moved the onions and some maybe broccoli out here that was still kind of hanging on. The onions were in a big cluster and we just broke them apart into 4. And there's a little extra guy down here. But we broke them apart into 4 and hopefully they'll get bigger like that. I have one more cute little thing to show you real fast. It wasn't Ruby sunbathing, but we'll take it. Alrighty then, so I promised a rabbit series. Let me give a little sneak peek as to what that is going to entail. I will go through breeding, I will go through kindling, I'll go through as they're growing up, we will go through moving them out onto grass, we will go through either finding them new homes or putting them in the freezer. I make rabbit feet keychains. I might also include a tutorial in that. I tan the hides as well. Well, let me show you these cuties that we had. They're probably about, I'll have to look at the calendar, but they're about 2 or 3 weeks old. Their eyes are opening now. Ta-da! Aren't they cute? Now she's pretty picky about us handling them, so I'm surprised she's laying over there all chill-like.
Got the flop ear going already, look like it.
There's Mama. This is the first one she's had colored like this. So get ready for a rabbit series coming your way. Springtime. Poor Ruby. Oh, she doesn't even care now.
Bath time.
What you doing with the wood chips?
My chicken things that I can't hardly move.
Gotcha.
That 3-stall one.
Alright, and another thing that springtime brings is we have chicks that will be arriving next week. So I'll bring you through later and show you how to set up the brooder. We'll show you week by week how our Cornish cross are progressing. Now, we don't quite do it the same way that everybody else does. Most people will feed their Cornish cross all the food they can eat for 12 hours and then they take it away. We don't do it that way. When you get that, that's where you also get where they get just so big that they can't walk around, that kind of thing. We don't want that. I don't have any desire to have that. These chickens will get nice, they will get gigantic. Might take them a little bit longer, but it also buys you time if, say, you can't butcher on the 8th week. He turned off my water hose. Anyways, so we will take you through and we'll show you how that goes. And we have ordered 25 chicks. We're going to be doing at least 2, possibly 3 batches this year. Let's go to the greenhouse now. Okay, so I have went through my bag of seeds from last year. The big box stores don't have any seed packets out yet that I've noticed, so I'm going to use what I have. And hopefully with me starting right now in January, it's January 27th. With me starting this early, hopefully I can go ahead and get to them because, for one, I'm missing broccoli. I've used all of my broccoli seeds, so I don't have any to get started with. But we do have mustard greens and collard greens, a little bit of cabbage, Brussels sprouts, a little bit of cauliflower. I have lettuce. This is Grand Rapids. And that's also what this is. I saved these last year. So we're going to try those too. We have peas. I have Recruit and Early Perfection. And then we also have beets. There's a funny story about beets, but I'll get to that another day. Okay, and then we also have some onions. Okay? Now, Frankie does not like onions that much, but he likes onion flavor. So for the most part, we will probably slice these, put them in the dehydrator, and then ground them up for onion powder. I did that this year with garlic, and it worked great. They're a little bit bigger chunks. They're not as fine as what you would get in the store, but we don't care about that. So now onto the trays. Okay, so we have these flats that we're going to start them in, and this is actually a 2-piece. The flat itself is pretty flimsy and weak, and by the time you put dirt in it and whatnot, it's gonna be, oh gosh, they're so hard. So I like to use one of these and put them in here. And that trick comes from, I worked at a greenhouse for the summer, so that's where that trick comes from. But we're gonna put we're gonna fill these with dirt. I'll put the seeds in there and I'll show you as I go. Now, I soaked this bin in water real good before I got started, so my soil is nice and moist to work with. Well, most of it. I thought that I was going to have a hard time getting it to rehydrate, but it's doing great. Now, we do also raise rabbits, as you know if you've been watching. I will make a rabbit compost tea. So I will take their poop, Ruby. I'll take their poop and I'll put it in a bucket of water and then I'll sprinkle it on there after it's set for a couple days. And then that'll be like fertilizer. It's a natural fertilizer. You don't have to compost rabbit poop. or rabbit manure, I should say. You don't have to compost it. It's not a hot compost, or it's not a hot manure, so it won't burn your plants. You can put it directly on it. But it'll be a good little boost for our seedlings. I'm just going to carry these over here. And I have one more to grab. Just kidding, I got two. Okay, so I'm going to start with my peas. And now I'm going to use probably one flat for both of my peas. I have Recruit and Early Perfection. So I will just divide this. Now, when I'm doing especially peas or something, a bigger seed like that, I like to go ahead and make my holes. Yeah, I'm just going about that deep. Okay, and I'm going to drop them in there. Some of them aren't even that deep, but that's okay. I'm going to do a little extra here. Okay. So now I'm just going to, the ones that aren't quite as deep as I want, I'm just going to poke them a little bit. And then you just kind of cover them over. Okay, my line is right here. And before I forget which one that was, I'm going to go ahead and write P. Okay. Make sure that your trays are filled to the top with the soil. Right, now this is the Recruit. Make your holes. Now again, any of them that are a little higher up than I want them to be, we'll poke them down just a little bit. Not too far. That seed has just enough energy to make it to the top, pretty much. You don't want it to have to work too hard. I like to pat them down a little bit, tuck them in, so to speak. Okay, one tray is done. Alright, now these are mustard greens. As you can tell, they're a whole lot smaller than that, so I can't just poke little holes in and go through that way. So I'm going to make my life a lot easier, and I'm just going to sprinkle them. They'll have to be thinned out anyway, and they'll have to be potted into a different one than this anyhow. So and I am putting quite a few in here. Now I'm just going to grab a handful of dirt and put it down. You need about a 1/4 inch cover. So I'm just going to smooth that little handful right over top, and that should be just fine. Make a little tab, and I'll do the colored greens the same way. Alright, I've finished planting them all. We've got them labeled and everything's ready to go. Now you just gotta wait on them to sprout. We are expecting snow tomorrow, which it shouldn't hurt it because they won't even have time to break out of the shell just yet. So, we'll see. And other than that, we'll just close down the greenhouse. We've got the windows all closed down. We just gotta close the door, and if it gets too cold, you can throw a sheet or something over top of it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be our video today. I hope y'all have a good one. Be safe. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching Ruby Homestead. Bye, y'all.